Excuse, Mr. Radio Exec, but I firmly object. You said the average listener didn't want to hear what the on-air personality had to say. But on the contrary, they all seem to feel my way. You said the average listener only wanted the music. Well, if they only wanted the music, they would go out and buy the music. Your way of thinking is useless, so you just sit back and watch me do me. Anything else? Kicks Meann.
Yes, sir.
What up, hookers and gigolos? Your boy Kicks Meann, fresh off a 2-week hiatus. I know y'all miss me. I'm sorry. This thing called life is very hard. Sometimes you have to live it, go through some shit, and that's what I did. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It's a very slow news week as far as shit I want to talk about, or I'm just not doing my job. I feel like other things are taking precedent to what I feel like I should be doing, and there's no excuse for it. It's just intolerable. I apologize. Now, today's podcast may be slightly different because there's not much I'm going to report about. Again, like I said, I haven't been doing my job. I will say this. This is old. The whole Nicki Cardi thing. Remember, I told you guys a few podcasts ago, Nicki's character has to be questioned at some point in time. And the fuckery she's pulling with this Queen Radio and blurting out shit and putting Cardi on blast is kind of, character questioned. Also, the elections or the what's it called? I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't follow all this political shit. Most of the time, I vote for whoever my mom's voting for. Not gonna lie to you. Keep 100. I was voting for the black guy, Andrew Gillum. Doesn't seem like he's gonna win. We tried, didn't work. Now we got to deal with the fuck shit we get. Whatever fuck shit we get, we get dealt with. It is what it is. For a lot of you, take that back, because I don't want to single out anybody or make anybody feel like they're not part of the group. For a lot of other ethnic groups, our other ethnic brothers and sisters out there, for a lot of y'all, this is disappointing. You don't know how to deal with it. Black folks, we've been here before. We've been disappointed in America for a very long time. Come on over and talk to us. We'll explain you how to get through it, and we can get through it. Also, some other shit that just like my mind is just constantly thinking about the world, the humanitarian that I am. I may not be able to, put my thoughts into actions because a lot of this shit is very fucked up here in my head. But sometimes I like to share my thoughts. A lot of mass shootings. This world is a very scary place. The anti-Semites. You know what? Every time I try to say this word the first time, I fuck it up. So I'm just gonna let it go. The hate crime against the Jews, the mass shooting in the synagogue, or however the correct term is for their place of worship. The shooting in Oakland. Was it Oakland? Somewhere in California at that bar. It's very disappointing to see Americans killing Americans. And I'm not necessarily saying Americans like born in the U.S. I mean American citizens. If you're here in America, you're an American citizen. That's how my mind works. I mean, you pull your weight like the next man does. You're an American citizen. That's how my mind works. But all this mass shooting shit is just, it hurts my heart. And I'm not one to express my emotions like that, at least my deep emotions, because again, in my mind, a lot of shit is fucked up. But to see all this happening, am I the only one that when you hear about certain crimes, you just want to know the race of the culprit? A lot of times I find myself saying, please don't be a black guy, please don't be a black guy, please don't be a black guy. And when it comes to mass shootings, most of the time I'm right. In fact, all of the time I'm right, except for one situation. We're not going to bring that up because we're trying to unify each other. We're just unifying. So it leads me to say, for any other racial group, religion, whatever, when you see one group of people being tormented or mistreated and disrespected, and they stand for their rights, and you choose to not stand with them, you got to remember at some point in time it's going to be your turn. And when it's your turn, you're going to want people to support you. So all I'm saying is, when you see one racial group, ethnic group, religious group, whatever group being done wrong, and it's morally wrong, in your heart of all hearts, you know it's morally wrong what these people are going through, you should take a stance for them. You should speak out for them, because at some point in time, it may be your group being persecuted, and you would want somebody to ally with you. Again, this podcast today, this week, gonna be slightly different because I don't have too many topics to talk about. The one thing I want to talk about is passion. And I don't mean passion between a woman and man, because that's a whole nother subject. Y'all want me to talk about that? Y'all may want to sit down and the fuck shit that I would tell you about passion between a man and a woman, quote unquote love. That shit is a whole nother conversation. We're not having it today. I'm talking about passion for what you do. Majority of the times, I mean career-wise, what you do for work, your income. I'm at a point in my life where I'm questioning where I went wrong in my pursuit of happiness. As a lot of you know, I'm very passionate about hip hop. Not so much making it, even though I think, I like to believe I'm a very decent writer. I'm gonna use that word. I'm a very decent writer. At one point in time, I wanted to be a rapper, but my time of writing didn't suit my surroundings. Kind of discouraged me. You know, when you're young, you're very impressionable, and these things happen. Again, I'm a very fucked up individual. I have some issues that I need to work on. But an impressionable me decided, you know what? Rapping may not be the way for me. So I'm very passionate about hip hop. I like talking about it. I like listening to it. I'm not so much recently, because I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Y'all can turn around and act like y'all like all this bullshit that's going out, and the vibes and the turn ups and all that fuck shit. Let's be real. At some point in time, hip hop was great. Now it's like, these kids is making their money, throwing out a bunch of bullshit. Nobody's album really means anything. Nobody's words really mean anything. Nobody's getting you through any issues or anything like that. But whatever. I like the beats sometimes, even though I feel like a lot of it's the same. I digress. So, as a passionate kid about hip hop, who grew to be a man, still passionate about hip hop, I wanted to be a part of the culture. Like, I wanted my opinions to be heard. I wanted flashback. When I graduated high school, I did not know what I wanted to do with my life. I was good at a lot of things. Wasn't passionate about those. But the one thing that stuck with me was hip hop, this music. So when I graduated high school, for like a year, I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do, but you know, I had I had parents from the islands who turned around and told me, you know, parenting is another discussion we need to have. Um, I find it weird how a lot of minority parents or island parents, you don't pay attention to your kids as they're growing up. You try to dictate their lives, tell them what to do, treat them like children for majority of their lives. And the minute they turn 18, you expect them to be an adult. When you were sitting here damn near trying to keep them in arrested development from becoming what they were to become and developing the skills it is they needed to be the person that they were going to be. And now when they turn 18, you turn around and tell them, well, be an adult, get a job, and pay bills. This is the situation I was in. So when I turned 18 and my parents started getting on my ass about getting a job and what I want to do with my life and whatever, I really didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do. I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of times, if you're when you're a young person, you don't know what's out there. Lack of experience, lack of exposure, whatever it is, you don't know what's out there as far as career-wise. So you're just walking around blind and hoping something clicks for you. So most people just go into what they're good at. Again, I was good at a lot of things. I still am good at a lot of things, but I wasn't passionate about anything except hip hop. So when I graduated high school, I didn't do anything for about a year. I was very good at art. Drawing wise, creating shit. That developed into me being good with my hands. I had a job working at a teen center where I was just creating like random shit out of random shit. But I digress. So I was good at art. So I decided to go to a school for art to learn some animation, learn how to do animation, some game art design or whatever. And then doing that, I ended up getting a life drawing class where, you know those classes where the people sit around and they draw the nude model? Yeah, I had a class like that. And I had an old white teacher. I just want to describe him to you so you know what he looks like somewhat. Old guy, heavy set, balding slightly, gray hair, beard, mustache. He didn't look very well kept, and he was running this class where we were drawing like naked people. And he would give us homework. So for the week, we would have to draw 5 nudes and 2 standard, people dressed, whatever. So I did that class for however long I did it, and it was just, you think you never get tired of seeing the female body until you have to draw 5 nudes a week and then go to class once a week and draw just naked women or naked people. It was just fucking annoying. It made me realize how much I wasn't into art like that. I was good at it, wasn't passionate about it. So from there, I stopped doing that. Left school for a while. Well, really, I got into a car accident and then said, fuck this, I'm not going back. And then, again, island parents, figure out what you want to do with your life because you're an adult. You're not going to stay here forever. If you're going to stay here, you're going to pay rent. That's the benefit that a lot of these white kids have that, I'm not even going to say white kids. The benefit that a lot of these well-off, quote-unquote, rich kids have that most of us minorities or middle class to poor kids don't. We don't have the benefit of leaning on mommy and daddy to, take care of us till we figure out what it is we want to do with our lives. Most of the time we're trying to figure it out while dealing with the pressures of life. Paying our own bills, putting food in our own stomachs, figuring out our own way of transportations. All the shit that you didn't have to worry about as a child, like the responsibilities of an adult, you had to deal with as a child. That's one of the setbacks for us minorities and non-well-off children. So when you got your parents constantly on your back saying figure something out, or pay bills, or get out my house if you're not gonna help or contribute, or blah blah blah, and it's not that you don't want to, it's just that you don't have what it is they want you to supply. And at the same time, you're trying to figure out your life. So for a while, after I stopped going to school for art, I got some bullshit job making money to take care of myself and do what I have to do for me, blah blah blah. And you sort of get caught up in a routine where this is your life. You get up, you go to work, you come home and do whatever it is you're gonna do after work, and blah blah blah. And the benefits of being young is that you can bullshit for a little bit and then get back on and figure out what you want to do. As long as you don't get caught in that cycle, that trap where, living paycheck to paycheck, and, I hate this job, but I need some money. I need the money, so I'm going to stick this shit out. When you're young, you can sort of fuck around a little. So from there, I'm doing this bullshit job, and I decide, you know what? I want to go back to school. Don't know why. I was never a school guy. I was never one of those kids that, again, good at a lot of shit. Understood a lot of shit in school. I was very... If I paid attention, I would get it very easily. Except for math. Math and numbers, I'm not gonna lie to you. Why are we doing, whatever. So I decided to go back to school, and I don't know what want to do. So I'm working this bullshit job. And again, it's just hip hop for me. All I ever want to do is talk hip hop. So I'm doing this delivery job, and I'm listening to the radio, and I'm hearing I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm listening to New York radio. I'm from South Florida. I'm listening to New York radio. I'm hearing the on-air jocks talk about hip hop, and I say, yo, that's what I want to do. So now that I figure out what I want to do, and it's something that I'm passionate about, I go full-fledged and roll back in school for broadcast and communications. Another conversation we should have? How school is a scam. Education is one of the biggest scams in America. So how many conversations is that? Parenting, education, love, and our current conversation, passion. So, like I said, I enrolled in school for broadcast communications, going to school, taking a lot of bullshit classes, trying to get to what I want. Finally get into some classes for to learn radio, the ins and outs of radio, after paying for bullshit classes. And it's amazing. I fall in love with it instantly. Cracking that mic, learning the buttons, how the tools and equipment works, and all that shit. It was very fun for me. So from there, when you go to school, to better yourself off and learn the businesses of what you want to get into, it's good to get an internship. What they don't tell you about certain schools is once you get an internship, the school wants you to pay them to get credit for your internship. So not only you're working for free, and your school wants you to pay them because you're interning. This was my situation. Being the smart, intelligent individual that I am, I said, fuck that. I'm going to go get an internship, not tell you motherfuckers, and not tell whoever I'm interning for that you should probably sign some papers for school. Well, however that shit goes, I didn't do it. I just went off and said, hey, I went to someplace, said, hey, I'm a school student, blah, blah, blah. I have to get an internship. I need an internship. Finally convinced somebody to give me an internship. Let me tell you something. That shit was some shit. Because here's how that went down. I was working my bullshit delivery job, right? So I would get there maybe, what time? 7 a.m., pack up my truck, and have to deliver my parts, and then come back, get another load, deliver my parts. I drive very fast. Well, I used to drive very fast. I'm responsible now. So I would get my parts, load them up, and deliver my shits quick. I live in Deerfield Beach, Florida. My job was in Coconut Creek, Florida. This is for people who live down here in South Florida. You're gonna know what I'm talking about. For anybody who doesn't live in South Florida, just Google these names of these cities, and whatever you need to do on Google to see the distance traveled. Yeah, do that. So my job's in Coconut Creek, Florida. I would take their delivery truck, deliver my parts real quick, and shoot all the way down to Hollywood, Florida, to beg for an internship. I think I did this for about a month. Again, passionate about this hip hop shit. If I wasn't passionate about this shit, I'm not driving all the way down there for a month straight begging for an internship. But nevertheless, this kind woman at a radio station decided, hey, I see you here enough. I'm going to give you a shot. She gives me an internship, and I try to kill this shit. I need to make sure everybody here knows my name, knows what I'm about. I'm trying to impress any and everybody who would take the time to look at me, listen to me, whatever it took. So it got to a point where my internship was supposed to be ending, and I said to myself, I need to stay in this building. I can't leave. So what do I do while I'm in school, working a full-time job and interning? I quit the full-time job, catch a part-time job, and convince somebody in that building to give me a job. Here's another story. I worked for the Urban Contemporary, I interned for the Urban Contemporary station down here in South Florida. Urban Contemporary is more like your oldies, R&B type shit. I interned for that. I wanted to work at the hip hop station. So I would constantly go downstairs and ask the promotion director at that hip hop station to give me a shot, 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 give me a shot. God bless his secretary. I'm not going to throw her name out there, but God bless you. If you ever hear this, I want to thank you because you meant something to me while I was at that station. The fact that you didn't brush me aside like a lot of those people did, you sat there and you talked to me and you pushed me on and encouraged me to pursue something. God bless you. She knows who she is. If she doesn't, maybe one day we'll cross paths again and I'll get to thank you in person. But God bless you. I would beg this guy for a job. And this guy would dick me around like, if you really want a job, you got to impress this guy. And I would think that guy's somebody, the guy who told me I need to impress, I would think he holds some sort of position. But turns out he was just a regular promotion guy. You know, because that's how they do you in the industry. I think a lot of these industry professionals, here's something that you need to remember. For everybody trying to get a job or trying to pursue a passion or a career somewhere, here's what you need to remember. These industry professionals don't know shit. They're just in positions where they can apply what they don't know or what they think they know, and it can affect whatever it is they're doing. You could have a great idea, but because you're not in a position to apply that idea, it means shit. These industry professionals don't know shit. Trust me, I've sat in plenty of offices, shot off a million ideas, and motherfuckers would look at me like, you don't know what you're talking about. This ain't gonna pop and blah, 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 whatever. A few months later, the same shit I told them what to do or what would happen happens, and it's the greatest shit on earth. Industry professionals don't know shit. Remember that. So this promotion director, I'm trying to get him to give me a job, whatever. I'm talking to his secretary. She's, whatever. Hold on, whatever. Situation occurs where they have a remote. If you don't know what a remote is when you see the radio station at like some business where they're handing out prizes and playing the radio, and you meet a on-air jock and they got the tin up and their promotion. That's a remote. An on-site location, broadcasting or whatever, remote. He was short a guy for this particular remote. And he tells his secretary, hey, that kid that keeps coming over here and asking me for a job, tell him to work that. Again, I'm still an intern, so I'm going to work this thing for free. I go out there, and being the entertaining individual that I am, if you ever meet me and you catch me when I'm bored, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. I want people to understand this. If I come across, if you see me and I'm talkative and I'm very entertaining and I seem to be working the crowd, I'm only doing this shit because I am bored. The real me is very antisocial. The real me really doesn't want to talk to people that much because I feel like a lot of people say a lot of dumb shit and I can't keep exposing myself to dumb shit. If you can hold an intelligent conversation, we can talk. But if you know in your heart of all hearts that that's not you, please don't speak to me. I don't like small talk. I know it comes across offensive to some people. Some people really want to be friends, and I want to be nice to you, but I don't want to deal with the dumb shit. So, whatever. So, I go out here to this remote, and I'm killing it. I'm putting on a show. That leads that promotion director to say, hey, I want to hire you. That promotion director told me, hey, I want to hire you. I believe it was like I was interning or still interning for like 3 weeks after he told me that. Still no job. Hip hop station. The receptionist downstairs in that radio station building told me, the rock station is hiring. You should apply for the rock job. Desperate to stay in that building, I applied for the rock job. I want to say maybe the assistant promotion director for that rock station was familiar with me and seen me work and hired me immediately. Immediately. I mean, paperwork in, let's go, you're on. The promotion director for the hip hop station heard of this news, calls me in his office with that assistant promotion director and says, no, we want him. He says he told me he was going to hire me and I shouldn't have applied for that rock job. Mind you, 3 weeks out. I'm passionate about hip hop. I can't express this enough. I am passionate about hip hop. I get excited when niggas can rap. When niggas can put together words that mean something. The beat is banging. When you can catch that, I don't know how y'all do it nowadays, cause I don't know. When I was listening to the hip hop I chose to listen to, it would give you this feeling through your body. If it was supposed to be like a sad song, you caught that feeling. If it was supposed to be a hype song, you caught that feeling. Like, I don't too much get that from whatever's going on now. But again, passionate about hip hop. 3 weeks out, didn't get that hip hop job. A day maybe, got the rock job. Sitting in this promotion director's office, and he's telling me and this assistant promotion director for the rock station, he wanted to hire me. He says, Kicks, what you want to do? Looking back on it, I should have stayed with the rock job and just earned my way into that hip hop station. I should have took that rock job and did it so fucking well that they had no choice but to beg me to come to that hip hop station. But what did I do? I went for the low hanging fruit and said, I'm going to the hip hop station. I get this job. And again, I'm very entertaining when I choose to be. I'm killing this shit. Did a lot of remotes. Entertained a lot of people. There were important times where I'm out there with the on-air personality and people are walking up to me asking me, hey, when are you on air? And I'd have to tell them, I'm not, but that's such and such. You should go holler at them. A lot of on-air personalities can vouch for that. A lot of on-air personalities probably won't vouch for that because I embarrass them when they're out in public. You can't do what the fuck I do. You can't reach the people the way I reach the people, but you're an industry professional and you have a spot. So you feel like you're better than me. A lot of remotes. I was out there rocking these crowds while I would sit back and watch the on-air personalities sit on their phones and text or social media it up and do nothing. And I'd watch like business owners come up to me and say, hey, you did a great job. What's your name? Blah, 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 and such and such, such and such. The promotion guy. Me. Passionate about hip hop. Oh, by the way, when you're in the radio station, you work in radio. I don't know if it's just South Florida radio, but nobody talks about hip hop. It's never about the music. All these guys, these people, they want to. If you ever listen to hip hop interviews on like South Florida radio stations, where the show is based in South Florida, not syndicated like The Breakfast Club or Angie Martinez, when it's like actually produced there, like if they get a on-air talent to talk to an artist, I feel like all they do is talk about stupid shit that tries to make the on-air personality seem like or feel like he rubs shoulders with these people on the regular, like he's a celebrity himself, he or she. I don't want to discriminate. Everybody can get this slander. So yeah, a lot of those interviews I sat there and listened to. I remember in the heat of a beef, one of the rappers stops by our radio station. In the heat of a beef, and that on-air personality never spoke a thing about the beef. What did he do? He sat there and said, hey, remember that time we were in the club and you said hi to me? Man, we really rocked that one. What the fuck? Whatever. Like I said, they don't talk much about hip-hop in radio stations, South Florida at least. Whatever. So, where was I? Doing a lot of these remotes, entertaining a lot of people. People come up to me, whatever. I sit down and watch on-air personalities on their phones, texting and chatting it up and blah, 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 not doing a thing. But they collect a check for these remotes. I get paid an hourly rate. They get paid a hefty check for showing up to these remotes. In my mind, Kicks, something ain't right. This ain't feeling right. So, me being at that radio station and trying to push myself to be something, I said, hey, while I'm here, let me talk to the not the promotion director, I'm sorry. The program director. Program director is a person who picks people who to be on air, sets the playlist, whatever. He's like a major figure when it comes to radio. So I'm in our program director's office damn near any chance I can, trying to shoot my ideas off or seeing if I can get a shot or whatever, teach me something, whatever. I don't care what it is. Just notice me. Our program director was a very nice guy. I don't think he was I don't want to say he wasn't too smart. I don't think he was I don't think he was thinking progressively. I think he's one of those guys who, if you were on a boat and the boat was sinking, he'd figure a way to keep the boat afloat. No destination. He's not going to take you to land. He's just going to, let's keep the boat afloat. You know, for some people, that's cool. For me, it just wasn't working. I felt like we could have been more than what we were. But whatever. It is what it is. So, me noticing I'm getting the short end of the stick. Cats are getting major paid and I'm getting bullshit. And I'm, again, young minority kid. Parents is on his ass about figuring out what you want to do with your future. If you're going to school, I'm not helping you. You got to pay for that. Oh, and we need you to pay some bills and contribute in the house. Yeah, pressure's on. I need to make something happen. So I choose to, rather than focus all my energy on rocking these remotes and being that guy, I said to myself, let's let the on-air personality embarrass themselves. Everybody knows what I do, how I do, but they don't know how I do because you're not me. But everybody knows what I do. If I stop doing what I do and I put the pressure on the on-air personality to do what they're supposed to do, maybe that'll get me more attention. So I say, let me play my role like every other promotion person on the roster. You know, set up, point people in the right direction, and keep it to the minimum. Let me not step out and be that showman that I am. I got a lot of people who came up to me and said, you know, you just don't seem the same. You're not doing what you do and blah, 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 whatever. And I would say, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm doing what a promotion guy does. A lot of people didn't like the fact that I held back and I didn't put on that show that they wanted to see. One of the people who didn't like me holding back was the program director. Here's a lesson learned. Sometimes you can be too good at your job. Sometimes you being too good at your job makes someone else look good. And rather than help you move up or move you up because you are a good hard worker, that person chooses to keep you in that position because it makes them look good. I worked promotions under this guy for 3 years. Didn't get a raise. Didn't get any extra. How do I explain this? I'm passionate about hip hop. I will sit there and deal with the bullshit if I knew it was taking me somewhere, if somebody was teaching me something, if somebody took me under the wing and said, hey, I know you don't get paid shit, but listen, let me show you how to do this, or let me show you how to do that. And it's not like I didn't ask. But I feel like, again, another lesson learned, when you're too good at your job, it can be threatening to others. I think a lot of people viewed me as a threat, so they didn't want to teach me anything. They just, hey, let him do what he does, and he'll just stay right there doing what he does. Never will he cross my path. Fine. 3 years I sat up under this dude and I did nothing. Nothing significant, at least. I get called into the office one day, and this guy tells me, we no longer need your services. I don't know if too many people know this. In Florida, they don't have that. You know how some people get fired from jobs for no reason, or with, I can't remember the saying. There's supposed to be a saying for this. I can't remember. But if you get fired at your job and you feel like you were fired unjustly, you can go to legal standards or you can sue or whatever for it. In Florida, you can't really do that. They can fire you for whatever reason, whatever, no explanation, and it's just, hey, it is what it is. So I was let go. Again. Young minority. Feeding, clothing, doing whatever it is I have to do for myself while living in my parents' home, being told, hey, you need to figure this shit out and pay some of these bills. Working a part-time job, 2 part-time jobs, the promotion shit, and the other side job that I had. Get fired from the promotion shit, so I'm only working 1 part-time job. And I'm still going to school. I have to get a job. Full-time. I end up catching another job, not even in the field that I want to be in, because I find that radio is one of those businesses where it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I didn't know anybody outside of that station, and nobody in that station was giving me any recommendations. Again, I feel like I was a threat to a lot of people. It is what it is. I applied to damn near any and every radio station I could. Got no callbacks, no hires, no nothing. Here's some weird shit to me. I don't understand how anybody ever gets a job in some fields when they ask you to have like 3 to 5 years of experience. But you can't get experience if you don't work at these places. Like, I don't understand how that translates. I would not hire you if you don't have 3 to 5 years of experience, but no job will hire me because I don't have 3 to 5 years of experience. How am I supposed to get this experience? So I take a bullshit job. I end up working that for some time. And again, when you get caught in that slump of living paycheck to paycheck, and you're depending on this money, and this is how you're surviving, it's easy to get lost in this hole, this cycle, where you forget what it is you want out of life and what it is you want to do. It's so easy to get caught up in that cycle. It was before I looked. I felt like I got this job before I looked up. Some years passed by. Out of nowhere, just quick like that. I said I need to get a job in radio. I can't do this for the rest of my life. I can't be this person for the rest of my life. So I started bugging the next hip hop station in South Florida. I went to their office, their building every day, trying to get myself in there. At this certain radio station, everything is behind a door. And to get through that door, you have to get through their front desk people. And those front desk people don't give two shits about you or what you came there for. Your application means shit. Your resume don't mean shit. They don't give a fuck. It is what it is. I think I went there for maybe 3 months straight, application after application, trying to get in, and got no callbacks, no nothing, no whatever, getting the cold shoulder, whatever. Here's the coldest shit that happened to me when I was trying to get into that radio station. I ran into an on-air personality. Let me tell this shit the right way. I was at this radio station, dropping off another application and resume, and I was walking out, and I see this on-air personality who is now working for this station, who used to work at the station with me, the previous station with me, and I see him. He sees me. Immediately, I thought to myself, listen, ask him if he can help you out. And that was my intentions. Like, hey, listen, I know you're in this building. Maybe you could talk to somebody and at least get my resume looked at, whatever. It would have been cool if he would have let me just say that to him. But instead, what he did was clutch his bag, start power walking towards the door. Oh, man, what's up, man? Nice to see you, man. I want to stay here and talk, but I'm in a rush. I got to see you. And then, boom, left. Cool, I understand. There are no friends in this business. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And if they ain't fucking with you, they ain't fucking with you. I graduated that institution, that educational theft shit, that whatever. I graduated from school. When you graduate from school, they give you 6 months to pay back your student loans. So that means you got 6 months to find a well-paying job that allow you to survive and pay off student loans. I'm working my bullshit job. I can't live with my parents anymore, so I move out. I've got 6 months to figure out how to pay my student loans. I got however long I have to figure out life, what I'm doing. I'm working a decent paying job, but it's a job, not a career, not something I'm passionate about. Paycheck to paycheck. I get lost in that cycle again. In the cycle where you aren't living, you're just surviving. Paycheck to paycheck. Every whatever day of the month, you got to pay this bill, you got to pay that bill, you got to pay this bill, you got to pay that bill, and then maybe if you're lucky, you have a little something to treat yourself to. I did this, and before I looked up, some years passed by. I am nowhere near close to getting to what I want to do in life. Still passionate about hip hop. You know how some people say, if you don't enjoy what you're doing, if you don't enjoy your job, quit, find another job? That sounds nice. It's pure bullshit. Sometimes you can sacrifice everything to do whatever it is you're passionate about, and it can lead to nothing. That's just the facts of shit. I'm still trying to figure this thing called life out. I'm still passionate about hip hop, I still would like to do radio. That's where a podcast was created. That's why you get Radio Don't Want Me podcast. If you understand the title of the podcast after hearing that story, kudos to you. You're a very smart individual. That's a double entendre. Radio Don't Want Me. I'm Kix Meann.